What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I am your host, Brett, back with episode, in the 50s, 58, I think. Bailey's here yet again, doing the episode that we promised you last week. And Noah is in town. I did mention that. We about recorded an episode a couple days ago. It was 2 in the morning, and we did not record, even though we probably should have. Even if it was for 30 minutes, I would have used it. So we got a few things that we're going to talk about with Noah whenever he's on. He's home for about a week and a half, so that'll be fun. But we're back yet again. We're going to be talking about, during this podcast, we're talking about two things. Two things in particular. Project Iceman from Yes Theory, their documentary. And number 2, the Save Me documentary about Jelly Roll. So those are going to be our main topics for today, but we were going to start this off with some icebreakers, even though we're fucking siblings, but Bailey said, let's do it. So we've been thinking about doing this every episode, but we end up having enough time. So it's whatever. By the way, while Bailey pulls out some cards, pick
a card.
Exactly. I am posting shorts again. I am posting on Instagram. So if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe, as posts are now going to be daily, if not twice a day. And if you haven't already, follow the Instagram, as there will be reels and other things on there as well. All right. How many do I need to pick? Just one? Are we just doing one at a time?
How many do we want to do?
I don't know. We can do a couple. Okay.
Let me pick mine.
Oh. Well, I can ask you. What do you think my best subject was in school?
History.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I had a lot. But history was probably one of my favorites.
I had a lot.
But,
well,
I mean,
I was good
at
science
science. I was good. I like science. I was good at history. I loved history.
And he was
and
good
I
at
was
math. English
Don't
was
get
not.
me in English.
I was gonna say.
I suck at English.
I liked English. I
Yeah.
didn't when I was younger. I started to like it. If you got to spend a year abroad, all expenses paid, where would you go?
A year abroad, just in general? I just tossed it. So not in a specific country.
Year abroad, all expenses paid for, where would you go?
If I had a year abroad, all expenses paid for, and I could go anywhere, I would go everywhere.
You have to pick a place.
No. If I have a year, I'm not staying in one place. I'm traveling. I'm going.
But most of the time, a year abroad is for school.
Well, I'm not going for school, so I would probably travel Europe. If I just had a year just to do whatever, I would travel Europe.
I wouldn't stay there for.
If I was living somewhere for a year, I'd love to live in London for a year. I feel like that'd be cool. But if I was traveling for a year, I would just go through Europe itself. But I'd also love to visit a bunch of other countries. Okay. What would you say is your superpower? Yeah. This is an icebreaker.
I don't know. My superpower.
Wait, is that question for me? Oh, we suck at cards. I'm just gonna say it's for you. What's your superpower?
I could.
Stop picking up the cards.
Stop
it's okay.
throwing them on the floor. I have absolutely no idea. What would you say my superpower is?
I don't know. It's not my question.
Pick another card.
Because I don't. Give me the cards.
Well, because you're not going to answer, and I don't know.
Well, that's bad. I had to do this for orientation the other day, so it's your turn to deal with stress. If you could change your name for one day, what would it be?
My middle name.
Just your middle name?
That's the easiest answer because I've wanted my middle name to be my name for years. It might not be that anymore, but that'd just be the easiest. I don't have a name that I would be like, yes, that suits me.
Fair enough. By the way, you never said hi.
Hi. What is the smallest country you have traveled to?
America. We're the fourth largest.
Okay, let me pick it.
So not a very small country.
That doesn't work.
Smallest state? I could do that. Small state.
Do you make decisions with your head or your heart? I know your answer.
Oh. Do you?
I would say so.
What would you say?
I would say more now would be with your head.
I feel like it's pretty 50-50. Cause
Maybe.
Like, it depends on the scenario.
Maybe
I think
70-30.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, probably that roughly. Like, I probably majority head, but definitely some heart. Fuck it, let's do some more.
Definitely some.
I don't know. Definitely some heart in there.
Pick a card. That was like 5.
I did pull 5. Okay, I'll pull one out for you. Would you rather have a sing-along or dance-along to... have to sing-along or dance-along to every song you hear?
Sing, because can't dance.
Sing, because I already kind of, and I can't dance.
Yeah, I already do that pretty much entirely.
Not meaning it's good, but we do it. Go again. Or wait, yeah.
If you live to be 99 years old, would you rather have your 25-year-old mind or your 25-year-old body?
Body.
I know you're going to say.
Because I hope that my mind's not completely fucked by the time I'm 90. And if I haven't... Wait, that's actually... They actually just screwed it. Because a lot to do with your mind is your overall physical health. So if I have a body of a 25-year-old, that means my fucking brain's going to have the brain of a 25-year-old. So in all reality, I'm sitting pretty. That's a trick question. Pick fucking body because you'll be good the whole time. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? I was trying to throw it at the camera. What?
Oh. Have I been given a lot of advice?
You tell me.
Not really. What did Dad always say when we were a kid? If you put your mind to it, you can do it or something.
Practice makes perfect, but we never practiced.
That makes us sound awful. Sure, we'll go with that one.
Okay.
Tell me about the worst haircut you ever received.
Probably Roxy. Aunt Roxy, when she cut my hair.
I forgot she did that.
But it wasn't necessarily a bad haircut. It just wasn't what I wanted. Because at the time I was trying to...
Were you growing it out
trying
at that time?
Start to grow out my hair, and I literally just said trim it, and she took like an inch and a half off. That is not a trim. And then let alone the style was kind of funky too. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? But worst haircut, worst eyebrow job would have been last time. I think
it's actually growing back.
No, it
looks
is
pretty good.
You guys can't really see it, even if I zoom in. Like, here, let me just... You guys see this? Wait. Pretty good, huh? But my barber... This is so weird. But my barber... We never talked about this 2 weeks ago. They probably couldn't hear me, and I was just talking right at the camera. Hopefully they heard something. I should have yelled. My barber actually was trimming my eyebrow, which people thought that was weird, but I don't know. He's done it for quite some time. And he somehow took off half my eyebrow, and I didn't realize it for about, I don't know, 8 hours at least, if not later. And that was also the evening we took headshot photos for my realtor stuff. So I didn't know it, but I was missing out my eyebrow during every picture.
None of us knew it. Myself and my grandparents were with him at the time, and I didn't even notice it until he looked in the mirror, and he was like, something doesn't look right. And then I looked at him, and I'm like...
Yeah. And my coworkers never said anything either. Until the next day. They're like, one was in particular was like, oh, I knew. I was like, well, thanks for telling me. So,
yeah, it was pretty noticeable. Like, now you can't really tell.
No, it's
but
gotten
it
better.
Was pretty bad.
Okay. Who do you think my celebrity crush is?
Like Megan Fox or Jennifer Aniston when she was younger. I know Megan Fox used to be one of them.
Oh, yeah. She was like one of my longest
I don't know
running.
your current.
I don't think I have a current one. Like at one point, it's definitely Megan Fox for a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, I think everybody had a thing for at one point or another. Like for a second, I did have a thing for Amelia Clark, which is Khaleesi. But that was probably just because I was watching Game of Thrones. Who else?
Very pretty.
She is very pretty. I had a thing for Jennifer. Wait, I said Jennifer Aniston. Scarlett Johansson at one point, which is a fair choice. But as of like a more current celebrity,
like what have you watched that?
I don't watch. I don't watch a lot of.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like Emma Watson as a kid. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, like those were probably like some of my big ones. But as for one now,
I could have said most of those.
Yeah.
Knowing. Are you superstitious?
No. Maybe with some things, but like 11:11 on clock. Don't be sure to blow your candles. I about to blow my candles out on my birthday, and I didn't make a wish either. So
I never made a wish. I just did it because it's too stressful for me.
Oh well, you're boring. I used to. I'm not like black cat. I'll run it over.
Are you like if you walk under a ladder?
No, because I've done it.
I did it the other day at work because I could. I had to because there was boxes surrounding me, and the only way out was under the ladder, and I wasn't gonna move it because there was no point. And Adam saw me, and he was like, "Oh my God, Bailey, you just walked under a ladder." I'm like, it's fine.
The one thing that I probably wouldn't do is walk under the clock tower at Purdue.
Yep. Yeah.
Just because I've heard a lot of stories about that one. It's not that you die. It's called you spend a lot of money in college.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. What do you think was the last reality show I watched?
Did you ever watch a reality show? I've never really watched a reality show. Have you?
Technically.
Really?
But that's not a reality show. I was gonna say like The Cabin with Bert, but I don't think that's considered a reality show because it wasn't like fully scripted, but it wasn't like their day-to-day life. Technically the last reality show I watched was The Kardashians.
Oh my God.
But that was just because I was curious. I never watched them, so I was like, I
never thought that you have watched The Kardashians.
I've only watched like 2 episodes. It was the new one, not the old shit, like the new one. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and that was it. And I was just like, I see why people like it. There's a lot of drama, but like a little seasoning.
I have one more for you.
But okay, go for it.
Which song would make you go back on the dance floor? I feel like
there's a lot.
Middle school Brett would 100% be Black Eyed Peas.
Those aren't really like dancing songs.
They can be. That's not them, but
yeah, that's a wrong fucking people.
Yeah, I know. But that's just the song that came into my head that I knew.
I don't know. There's a lot, honestly. Like I could
Wobble.
pick a lot. Yes, 100%, because that's like middle school, like
dance.
Like I would say, fuck it, let's go. That one, or even just in general, like Cha Cha Slide, like all the classics. Keep It Shuffle. Even like back in the day, like Uptown Funk, that was a big one.
Uptown Funk you up. I'm
Uptown Funk you up. Sing it. Yeah.
Or like, you remember all the weddings that we would go to when we were little that we were
the chicken
in
dance.
Or there? That's what I was gonna do. If mom and them don't do that at the wedding, I'm gonna be so disappointed. I don't even know if they're doing dances or anything like that, but
they better be.
I don't think they're hiring anybody for music, so
I got you.
We're making a playlist, and then we'll just set speakers everywhere.
We got 2 giant speakers, so we're fine. Because I think we can interconnect those, so perfect. All right.
We got it.
Oh, okay.
That was pointless.
Cool. So, all right. What are we gonna get to first? I guess let's go with should we go with the most recent one?
Sure.
What we just watched Project Iceman, which was basically funded by Yes Theory. But
on what, Saturday?
Yes. Yeah, we only watched it a couple days ago, which is a documentary movie about a young man from Denmark that wanted to do the first ever triathlon Ironman on Antarctica. And technically this happened in 2020. A lot of stuff was going on. They've been working on it for quite some time. I kind of stayed up with it just because I watched Yes Theory's videos. And it had been in theaters. They did a tour, but I could not get to it because it was like 3 hours away. I was not driving to Cincinnati to watch a movie. And so it just came out on streaming, so we watched it. You really didn't have any knowledge of it before going into it. What did you think?
It was pretty damn cool. Like, the training and the intense shit that he had to go through, I would never have that much drive and motivation like he did. Like, props to him. Like, I could never do that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I was nervous for him at one point.
Yeah, like we
at
were.
One point, I was getting nervous. I was like, but it was a ridiculous story. It really was, and I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see Wim Hof because I thought they recorded something with him because he is the Iceman. So I don't have his book up here. Never mind.
The guy. Yeah. Okay.
And so I don't know. It was very interesting. I didn't know what to expect from it, but I mean, like, I knew he completed it.
Like the training
and
just
stuff, everything. It was just wild. Like him wanting to do this and having a job in finance and then getting into this, and then now he's getting it. What was it? By the end of it, he said he was getting into. Oh no, I'm blanking on what it is.
Professional football player.
Yes, he wants to become a professional.
Well, I forget what the hat said. Something 30 because he's doing it when he's
30, which is hard.
Yeah. Because he's always wanted to do it as a kid, and people kept telling him no, that he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but that's normal in Europe. There's a lot, like, for us, like, someone could be like, I want to become a professional football player, or someone wants to become a professional basketball player. But then at the same time, someone might play 4 sports in the U.S. because there's a lot of major league options and availabilities that someone can fall back on. Whereas, like, over in Europe, they basically just have, like, football, soccer. But like I've also heard other people talk where it's like over there, it's like everybody wants to be that, but the likelihood of getting it is ridiculous. That's why there's so many leagues. Like they have like almost like a minor league, but they also have like Sunday leagues, which is just like local people going and playing football. Like we don't have a local, like that's how big soccer is, where it's like you don't have a group of people in Tipton that always come together every Sunday to play basketball or baseball. So there's just so many people over there that play soccer that it's pretty wild. But no, their journey was ridiculous. I wasn't expecting like the storm to roll in.
That was kind of intense. The boat thing was I was really like, shocking. Oh my gosh.
That was shocking. Between just all
or
these
how they
things.
had to sit there for almost a day because they had to get permission.
Yeah, they almost didn't get permission to actually go on to the land and do everything. The swimming was like the most.
It's
the most stressful because that's where, like, yes, dealing with negative 20-degree weather Celsius, with like the wind and everything is very, very, very bad. But you can bundle up.
I feel like for the water though, he seemed to do it.
He did really well,
pretty easily, or at least what they showed. And
well, because there's also the least resistance. Resistance. Sorry, the only thing you're really dealing with in that situation is the cold. The coldness of the water. Other than that, you're swimming. The running, you're running through snow. You're not running on pavement.
The biking, I would.
And dealing with the wind and all that stuff, like all of it, like that's where those become difficult. The task is difficult in itself, but the conditions is what made it so like rough. But I was worried because like just seeing him train for the cold, like that's probably the most difficult physically, and then he knew that. And that's why, like, when they did the practice stuff, I was like, ooh, I don't, like, how smoothly is this going to go?
Yeah.
But, I mean, he did it. He did it pretty well and without any really big issues.
The bike thing
was a mental thing. Such a mental thing.
I would have been so struggled. Frustrated. I would have probably, like, personally would have given up.
Yeah. I mean,
to spend... What was it? 33 hours just on the bike because of
180 kilometers or whatever.
Because of how bad like the weather and like him falling off the bike was and the snow. Because like what was it? He spent like a little over an hour in the water and then over 33 hours on the bike.
Yeah, and those two he did 35 hours without sleep, and he's up before that. And so he's up for about 40 hours straight probably.
Then was it after he finished the bike that he decided he ran a little bit? He ran like what, 7 kilometers, and then was like, I can't do this. Then he stopped to sleep, and that was like 12 hours, and then that's when the snowstorm happened. And then they said like he finished it, and I think they said at the end it was like what, 70. It was, you didn't hear, but it was like 7. It took him a total of like with the storm and his break and whatever, total of like 72 hours and something.
Yeah, and it's not saying someone couldn't break it, but Like, also, they didn't have, like, a path prepped in the snow.
Yeah.
And certain things beforehand. So it's like, yeah, you could probably do, like, if someone's like, oh, I want to break his record, someone could probably do it. He could probably break it if he went and tried again. But also just dealing with those conditions is, at that point, more of a mental game than it is a physical game.
Mm-hmm.
Where regular Ironman is both, but, yeah, that one was just so much more physical just because of the conditions and mentally struggling. Because you're freezing to death, you're hungry,
tired,
and it's taking way longer than normal. Like a normal Ironman, I'm trying to think what the times are for those. Like, they're not short, but it might be like 8 hours for the whole thing, and that's a big difference. 8 hours to a 70-hour total time expenditure. Like,
yeah,
it was a lot, but it was really cool. And then it was so cool to see Yes Theory involved. I kind of wish they were actually in the filming of the documentary more. But at the same time, I guess it wasn't their project. They were just kind of funding him. So, like,
I think it was cool how his brother was able to go along with him and be part of his team and be there to, like, support him and help, like, when they were doing the biking, how the crew was shoveling a path as he was biking, like, nonstop that entire time. So it was not just hard on him. It was hard on the crew. Everybody.
It was rough.
Wasn't really sleeping. They all were in the storm. Like,
and I think that's why, like, for everyone during when they were doing, like, the tour and everything, like, I saw pictures, I saw videos. It was also very emotional for everybody because, like, the amount of work in general everyone had put into it. They spent so long trying to edit it and make it perfect because they did it all themselves. So they spent months and months just working on this every day, trying to get it all how they wanted. And also because they decided to do it independently. Like, they could have tried selling it to a company, but they didn't want to. And so the stress of that, and then worrying it's not going to be a success, and, like, all these things, like, there was a lot to it. So just to see it as, like, a finished project and a product and be able to watch it for the first time was probably so emotional to see it in theaters. And especially when he first conceived this idea, like, basically in, like, 2017, and then to see the final product, one of just defeating the obstacle, being 4 years later in 2020, or 3 years later in 2020, but then not even seeing the final results of the documentary for it all. And
then when they got back, like they said in the film, it was
right
during lockdown, and then none of them saw each other for, like, what, 2 years or more?
It was a long time. It was quite a long time, and that's what also delayed a lot of stuff because they couldn't work on it together. Like, at one point, he was out in California for a long time working on it, like, living with them and doing stuff, and so it was just a hell of a story.
I think it was kind of cool that their group seemed pretty tight-knit and, like,
I feel like
very close. And I mean, like you said, they were all pretty emotional, like, just even in the documentary about it, and it seemed pretty cool for not just him but for everybody involved.
Yeah, because kind of learning his backstory with all of it, it was really cool. It was really interesting to see, and how he felt like he was always, like, in a way, underestimated and determined for something more, and he didn't know what that was, and he came up with this, and it's just, like, it's so impressive. And then I learned who the Iron Cowboy was, which I'd never heard of before, and a guy that did 50 Ironmans in 50 days, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I mean, you're basically spending your whole day just running,
and then to get up and do it again,
just racing, and then to get up the next day and do the exact same thing somewhere else. Not only that, it was in all
different,
50 states.
all 50 states. Yeah,
So
I was like, there was something else about it too.
It made it even more crazy. So,
because then you had to travel after the race.
Right, and so traveling, trying to sleep, trying to eat, and doing all this in 50 days, like, ridiculous. Like, that's probably the craziest Ironman record you could ever hold. Because, like, I guess overall speed is impressive, but also that's one. Like, I think it's more impressive to even do a moderate speed and be able to do 50 day by day by day.
And then especially, I'm assuming, like, just in case there wasn't plane delays, that they drove.
I'm guessing they drove, besides Cali and, like, Alaska. Or Cali. Did I just say Cali? Hawaii. That I want to know how they did that.
Yeah, because that's
maybe that was the last one or the first one.
The plane is a 20. How long is Hawaii from California or wherever people?
Like
20, it's not 20 hours, is it?
probably 12.
I didn't mean. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I went to go
don't know.
say
I've never
16,
been
but
because I think it's 17 from LA to Melbourne or Sydney. So that's 17 hours. So Hawaii might be, oh, okay, yeah, maybe 12 is a little much. I don't know.
So it could be like 8 or 10.
Maybe 8. But still, that's a long flight.
Yeah.
So.
And then no go race. No.
But no, I really liked it. It was cool to see. I kind of think Noah would want to watch it, but might be too late.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part of the doc?
I don't know. It was all pretty good. I liked how supportive his family seemed to be of it, and like how emotional it made his siblings that he was able to do it. And I remember like he was always the smallest kid, and people underestimated him on playing football, and like they were so proud and like supportive. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. All right, well, fuck it. Let's go right into Jelly Roll then. So we also watched Jelly Roll's documentary Save Me on Hulu last weekend. So it has been a second. I'll let you go start. Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember how it went. Like, wow. I know, but like,
I mean, I'll be honest.
I knew some of the stuff that he
some.
had because of like things that I've watched through his wife's podcast and stuff like that.
So I knew I heard the name. I didn't know who he was until he was on Rogan. And I listened to him on Rogan.
I knew who he was way before Brett did, and then Brett got obsessed with him and like his music was
I'm not obsessed.
It's so good. And I'm like, where have you been for the last 3 years? Like,
I don't listen to country.
I wouldn't consider him a country artist. I would
That's
say
his big shit.
I know, but I would say he's a mix of.
He is. No, but no, I like at one point I think like even when I was like, who the hell's Jelly Roll? Like when it popped up on Rogan, and then I'm like, you know what? I for some reason I recognize this name. I don't know where, who told, whatever, but I know I've heard it before, and so that's how I kind of got to know him a little bit. And he did talk about some of the stuff, and actually I feel like broke it down more on Rogan, at least with certain things, than he did actually in the documentary.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things he went in more depth on the podcast that
I would say that it was pretty like it was a good documentary, but it wasn't as in depth as I thought it was gonna be on his childhood and his like upbringing.
But they only have so much time, and that's also like the cinematic
true.
thing. They want to make sure people actually watch it all. I feel like that's also like how I felt when I watched MGK's documentary. Like I thought it was gonna be like more of a documentary. It was about his life, and it wasn't necessarily that. Like some of it got brought up, but that was not necessarily the whole thing.
Or the fact that he didn't. I think one of the first things like through the documentary that shocked me that I didn't know was that he didn't finish high school. Like didn't even finish 9th grade.
Yeah, I knew that, and that was from the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty interesting. Like it started out. It was. If anybody had seen the MGK MGK documentary, it was actually kind of a similar layout, which I made you watch that one.
Yeah.
It was actually very similar and makes sense. They were both made by Hulu and streamed by Hulu. So it makes sense that they have a similar structure where it wasn't necessarily a whole life story. It did have some of those aspects to it, but it was actually more focused on just the overall success and change of these people's career and telling their story a little bit over the past couple of years as they just blew up and like how their lives changed and what's been going on more recently and the accomplishments they've been able to hit. And because it's the very same, like MGK focused on like 2020 and 2021 when he blew the hell up and was the biggest he'd ever been at that point. And I feel like it was the same with Jelly Roll where he's like the biggest now than he's ever been.
Yeah.
And he's blown up within like the past year.
Because what his new album, I think Adam and I talked about it at work, is now like second from going like second under Morgan Wallen's. And Morgan Wallen's number 1, he's number 2 for the new like most songs on the album that hit number 1 or something like that.
I mean, I've probably listened to the album 4 times, 5. But it's also not a super big album, so you can get through it pretty quickly. It's pretty digestible. But so it was really cool. I didn't know who he was, like his backstory, living in Nashville, growing up in a terrible part of town. And it's like you don't realize it because it's like you think, like how he talked also on Rogan. It's like you I don't know, you imagine certain things because I mean that's all you have is your imagination. So he's like, I kind of like grew up in the hood and grew up in the bad situations, whatever. But then also he kind of shows it, and it's like it just kind of feels like suburbia, but it's like shit you don't know, like bad part of the neighborhood. Get involved with drugs, and like also you look at him and you see pictures and you're like, did not look like a kid that I would have thought that got into drugs and alcohol and crime. And then they did show like some of the pictures from like when he was in the middle of all that shit, and you're like, oh wow, like it really fucked with him, and he did turn south very quickly.
Yeah, because his last prison sentence was the 5-year one.
Yes,
was that what they said?
I think so. And yeah, it was a ridiculous story between.
But he did get his. Didn't he say he got his GED while he was in prison? He decided that.
Maybe. I don't know if he did.
I feel like I've heard him say that in the documentary or somewhere else, that he decided that for his daughter, for something, he needed to turn his life around, and he had decided to get his GED.
He did say that, but I don't know if the GED was a part of that. I think that was just when he was like, I gotta get out of crime. I'm gonna do music, and this is what I'm gonna pursue. Because he's like, the only 2 things he said he was good at as a kid was those 2. And so he's like, okay, well, I gotta try this and see what happens. And I mean, he went basically in 10 months from a 1,000-seat stadium to like 12,000. And that's a pretty ridiculous growth, and winning some of the biggest awards at the CMAs, and having these massive songs and performing at the Grand Ole Opry and like all these different things. Like it's crazy.
And that was the other thing that I thought was cool, which you told me this before the documentary even came out, was the fact that he had not done any singing lessons until he performed with Lainey Wilson at the, what was it, CMAs? CMTs? Aren't those 2 both music things?
Maybe it was the CMTs. Oops.
And that was kind of cool. I was like, damn.
Oh, yeah, he said the whole reason he did it was because he said he was nervous because of being on like national television.
Yeah.
So that's why he did it.
He did. I saw their performance and the day after or whatever, and it was really good.
It was
I
awesome.
saw her perform live, but
yeah, and then also the emotion and his backstory, and then you really listen to his songs. Like I mean, like I actually, when they were talking about it, even on the podcast, I was like, okay, who is this guy? I looked him up, and I was like, what are these songs? I played like the biggest ones, and I was like, wait, I have heard these. Like I don't know them well, but I know I've heard them somewhere. So then I actually like listened to them, and I'm like, oh shit, like the story, the essence, the soul, like everything in it was.
I love his
very deep
rasp voice and the way he like portrays his songs that are very emotional. And I think that's why people love his songs so much, because there's such a personal touch and like emotion that you feel, and people can connect to it that way.
Well, I think that's also why MGK blew up, because it's actually, oh bro, both of their stories is so similar now I think about it. Like it's actually kind of crazy, very parallel, where it's like he was doing rap forever, and then now he's almost blown up as a country artist, where MGK was doing rap forever, and then he went to like a more punk rock, and blew up like crazy. And it was kind of out of his normal genre, but then at the same time, because of that, I think that caught some attention. But then also, like, obviously, I don't think MGK has the soul and the voice that necessarily like Jelly Roll does, but just the story and the emotion you do feel, and the shit he would sing about and talk about and dealing with, like shit he's actually dealing with in real life. Like that's what I think garnered such a large audience, and I feel like that's similar for both of them, but they take different approaches. One's more of a,
and I also feel like
rock
it's like
and punk aspect of it, and like emo, and then his is more like Christian, forgive me, like country.
It's also like with him, it's because he's so different. Like a lot of people, like he says all the time, we don't belong here. Like in the country scene, like you'd never think that I would be walking on this red carpet. Like
he has face tats.
Like just and like or be like with all the tattoos, you wouldn't think with face tats, country artist. Like, but like it's so cool that he's been able to. I don't know where I was going with this. I had a point and I lost it. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. Okay, I stopped now.
But between that and then like even his wife and everything and like her backstory is like kind of perfect, like thing for them, I guess. Like obviously two people that came from very broken backstories and kind of found one another and dealt with each other's stuff and working through it and like how he was still dealing with addiction and a bunch of stuff and had drug issues and all this stuff. Like
they were both, wasn't it? They were both on pills.
Oh, for sure.
And then they both stopped once they met his daughter and like he met her and realized he had a daughter. Because I remember them mentioning that in the thing and she was like, I realized like, oh fuck, we have to like get our shit together. Because they
I don't
helped.
know if that was up for. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it was. I remember Bunny being on there and talking about it. But I like, cause his daughter's named Bailey, and I saw a TikTok today of them two and him saying dad jokes to her.
Yeah, but no, he just seems like such a genuine person. Like it was so cool, and that's where like I kind of wish MGK would do something along the lines of Rogan, because you get to see that a little more. Like I feel like in the documentary, like you got a glimpse at the inside of like his life, but you didn't really get to see him for who he really is. And I've listened to like one podcast that he was on. It was like the armchair podcast or something, which is a fairly large podcast, and it was like one of the OGs, and they were talking about shit, and he was talking about like dealing with stuff as a kid, and him and the host had both very rough childhoods, so they were able to relate, and they were talking about stuff and his addiction and like where they're literally talking about how different drugs work and like understanding how bad addiction is and being like, oh yeah, like I've never shot up, but it's done this. Like to some people it's like you work your way up. It goes from like smoking to pills to snorting to then shooting up, and it's like the farther down the rabbit hole you get, the harder it is to quit, like all this stuff. And you really got to see him talk about it. And he's like, yeah, it was rough shit. My like aunt died and deal with my dad's death. And like, it was like one of the first times I actually got to see like MGK in that light, whereas like, oh, like I'm kind of seeing him more as just a person. Like even in the documentary, I feel like it was still very like, not fake, but very like Hollywood-esque, where it was like it wasn't just him talking. And I guess there was times, but and maybe that's just how he is. He also is very like closed off, that he just an motionless when he talks about certain things. Maybe that is just how he is, but also I feel like in certain situations that might have been when he was still on pills and other stuff. So it's hard to tell like like how he truly is. Or maybe he was off pills and this is him like coping with that, and maybe that's actually how he really is. Like it's hard to tell when someone's dealing with like those kind of issues. And thank God we never have or been around someone that's dealt with shit like that. But it runs rampant. It really does. What was your favorite part of the doc for him?
I don't know. I did like how he went back to like prisons and drug facilities.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
and
cool.
Like
went back to where he was in prison.
Yeah, and fed them. It was Thanksgiving dinner.
And performed
and then like went to different, what are they called? Rehab centers, and talked to them and like
this is what I've gone through.
Yeah, and I think he also performed there. They brought a guitar anyway.
Yeah, just to sing with them. That was really cool. I do like. Yeah, I do really like that.
How didn't he say he was starting something?
Like a foundation?
It was something that within prisons. But I can't remember.
I don't know what it was exactly. But it was really cool.
Yeah.
Very genuine person. Just such a sweet guy.
He seemed like a very sweet person.
Yeah. It is just like we've talked, you would have never, if I pulled you aside 4 years ago and been like, hey, by the way, this is like one of the sweetest guys you'd meet. You just looking at him, you'd probably be like, no, he ain't. He's tatted as fuck. He looks like whatever. That would have been you, 100%. Because you've done that to people. Just honest.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but you would have been less. Yeah. Whereas like
I don't know if it was
the
like
hardest,
I think it was like a thing, especially with me as a kid. It was mainly like tattoos and piercings. I don't know if that was because like it was like drilled into me that tattoos were so bad that there was only a couple times that I saw people like at the mall or something that had face tats, and I was like, oh my god, like they're gonna like murder
the funniest
me.
thing is it's typically the people
really
that look
sweet.
The hardest are like the sweetest people, where it's like, oh, they got face tats,
but it was
they got
like,
piercings,
and
they're
it
wearing
was
leather.
obviously wrong on my part to think that without knowing them, but like I feel like that's why, especially when I was younger, it was because like our family is so against tattoos.
Oh, for sure.
Like, oh, they have face piercings. Like, I wouldn't do it. No, but like, what if you want to do it, go for it. Looks good on you. Like, whatever. But like, that was the thing I think that like scared me, because they were like, oh, they're so bad. Like,
I feel like that's like the same persona you kind of get from like Jelly Roll, MGK, Post Malone. Like, if you don't know them, just like off of pictures, like you see it.
Because like, if you think about it, the first reaction to our grandma had
to Post was like,
oh my gosh,
why does he have so many tattoos? Like, why
on his face?
And it's like, that's just who he is. What about it? Like, at one point, it kind of makes me want to go get a tattoo just to be like, what you gonna do about it, Grandma?
On your face?
Like, no, not my face.
I was like, please don't.
Just be like, what are you gonna do about it, Grandma? My whole back's tatted. I
mean, I don't see a problem. It's just I don't have like, if I don't have a really meaningful thing, I'm not gonna get tattooed.
That's me body. Too. And then some people are like,
oh, fuck it.
It's all a memory. Like, it's whatever.
That's just not me.
It's also like where some people are like, oh, like, why do you have so many scars, or why didn't you like go get that fixed? Like, you could have like healed it better. And some people are like, oh, it's a memory. Like, it's like, that's kind of what it is. Like, you know what I mean? That's what a tattoo is in a way, where it's like, I was in this city with these people. It was very random, and we got a dumb tattoo together, but these were strangers I met while I was traveling Europe, and we went and got the same little tattoo or something. Yeah. Like, that I would do. Like, if it's just a dumb shit, where it's like a random person was like, would you go get a tattoo with me? I might fucking do it. Just because it's like, you know what? Like, fuck it. What a story. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not the type of person. I wouldn't do that.
I know, but it depends on where I'm not going to like put it like if it was going to be super noticeable where it's obvious, that's when I'd make it more meaningful and actually really want to pick.
I mean, when I was younger, I was kind of like dead set on, oh, I want a tattoo on my ankle or my wrist like most women do. And then I was like, what's the point? If I don't have something that I really think like I want to remember this, like if it's like for a person or for something that really significant happened to me, I don't see a point of putting it on my body.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't know. It was really cool. I just loved it. It was such a good documentary. And then his new album, absolutely amazing. It really is.
Just the couple of songs that we listened to in the car, they were pretty like...
So good. So good. Like, the guy's voice is amazing. And even his choice of music is amazing. Like, it makes me actually want to go see him in person now. Like, this year. Like you said, he was coming to Indiana. Like, I kind of want to go see him.
It just sucks. Like, he's coming to Indiana 3 different times in 3 different places. But, like, the one time that he's, like, close to home in Ruoff, I'm at school. And it's in the middle of, like, September.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty late. But, like, well, shit. Like, that's another thing I told you. Like, I want to go see NF. Well, and his music's kind of like that for me. And I think that's why he doesn't have, like, a very large audience. Like, I don't think he's... But yet, at the same time, he's had, like, at least some singles that have been massive.
Yeah. And the songs that I've listened to from his new album are really good, too.
Oh, it's so good. It's awesome. And it's like, I really, really want to go see him in person, too. But it's in Chicago. And I got to, like, really think about that and plan and get tickets. And I can't remember what it is. It's, like, next month, maybe? Maybe it's either July or August. So, kind of got to figure it out because I'd have to, like, leave work or something at, like, 2 to drive up to Chicago and get up there in time and probably spend the night. So, but it'd be a fun trip. Like, I'd love it. like I'd love to see him again. And so there's just some of those artists. That's why I think why I love music so much. Because you just get to, I don't know, like, you just relate. And then like some people are like, oh, why do you listen to like I've listened to Juice WRLD, I listen to NF, I listen to like some of the stuff like MGK listens to makes, and people are like, oh, that's so depressing. And it's like, yeah, but it's also one, such good music. Two, it kind of gets you in a feeling. But then also there's been studies to show that people that listen to sadder music are actually happier people. And I think it's because you kind of let out your emotion in the song. So
you connect with it to what you're feeling, yeah.
Exactly. Even if it's something you can't totally relate to, I think having that deep connection with the music helps express emotion. Even like depending on the day, if it's like a anger and
Stop doing that.
Doing this?
Yeah, you're doing this. You're very you're.
One hand's
what are those called?
Under my butt. Expressive.
Yes, expressive talker. But you just kept hitting the seat. You're like.
You're welcome. So I don't know. Like there's just a lot with it. It's music's sick. That's where I'm like, oh, I'd love to make a song.
Life would be boring without music.
Oh, it'd suck. That's where I feel like it'd be cool to make a song one day, but then at the same time, I was like, I don't think I want to make a song because I think it would just be terrible. Because I'm like, I don't think it'd be the same as like what I love.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. All right, so you have been on this podcast probably 7 times.
Really? Has it been that many?
You're probably the most common person actually at this point.
Whoopee!
Seems like I always take the lead. You go ahead. What do you want to express? What do you want to bring to the podcast? What knowledge do you have? Do you want to talk philosophy? No. Come on, let's.
None at all. Brain fried.
It's time for you to go at it. Go.
I don't think so. I think I'm in the learning stages. I think
we all are.
I think yeah, no.
I can't.
I don't think it's time for me to take the reins.
No, it's too late. Go for it.
No.
Yeah. If you don't, I'll throw you in the pool after this.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Is that a challenge?
So, how was your day? That's all that comes into my head. I just watched something today about that. They were doing a podcast, and he's like, I don't know how to make small talk. And so somebody was like, okay, we're practicing. And they went to practice, and he's like, fine. And I was like, that is totally me.
Okay, well, hey, let's do it. Let's practice small talk. You lead the conversation.
No, I'm better when if somebody else leads, I can keep it going most of the time. If I lead, it ain't gonna be led. I'm just gonna sit there.
Okay, well, now it's your turn to initiate. Go.
No, because that's how it would start.
Nope. Start. I don't know.
How is your day? How are you?
Are you asking me?
What's the weather look like?
Ask me a question. Let's go. Come on. Get it started. La 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 la. I'm just at work.
Oh, I like your shirt, sir. Where'd you get it?
Person walking down the sidewalk. So.
Did you hear me?
Man, what'd you say?
I like your shirt, sir. Where'd you get it?
Oh, thank you. I actually don't know. I believe this was actually a Christmas gift.
Oh, well, I like it. Whoever picked it out did great.
Oh, thank you. I see you're wearing a 4-H hoodie. Were you in 4-H?
I was. All 10 years.
So was I. What a weird coincidence.
What'd you do?
No, what'd you do? Wow. I showed pigs, and I was in junior leaders, and I did foods. What'd you do?
Oh my gosh, that's so ironic. I showed pigs as well, and I did junior leaders, and I did cooking and photography, and I showed cattle.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. What kind of cattle did you show?
I had an Angus and a Scimitar.
Nice. How many, did you do a lot of pigs? Like, did you go to open shows? Because, I didn't do that very much.
I went to a couple.
So, are you from around here? I don't see you very often.
Yeah. I live down the road. You live here in town.
Yeah, I do, actually. You really suck at improv. So.
Have a nice day. See you later. This is so we just walk away.
Like, okay. Bye.
Ooh, I think I would do that to somebody I know too. Not just somebody.
Be like, oh, conversation's done. Bye. I mean, sometimes ending the conversation is hard. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. How about this? We're improving now. You work at an Italian restaurant. Boom. I'm a new customer from out of town. I am Russian. Start us off.
I work there. You're a customer.
I'm a customer.
Is that what you said?
I just sat down at my table.
Hi, sir. What? I'm Bailey. I'll be your server. I just had a brain fart.
Hi. I don't know. What the fuck's my name?
Hi, I'm Bailey. I'll be your waitress today. Can I start you out with any drinks?
I forgot how to do a Russian accent.
I was gonna say, are you gonna do an accent?
Yeah, I was gonna try. My voice box just shut up.
Oh, it sounds like
Ooh,
a
now
smoker.
I'm nervous. Give me a second.
Brett, ready? Brett. Ma.
Oh, I was thinking of Freddie. I was thinking of Freddie when he's like, it's not funny.
When was that?
When I said I had no friends.
Oh.
You weren't there.
There was another time that he did something like that.
Yeah. That was the best time, though. I got to get him on here to tell that story because he just went, oh, it's not funny. He got like real serious and just turned away from it. And me and Kelvin are just like, not funny. Yeah, fuck it is. Oh, we were dying and then he started laughing again at his like wheeze.
His laugh kills me. My laugh, I just sound like I've smoked 2 packs of cigarettes my whole life.
Okay. I don't know. I'm camera shy. I don't know how to. I can't do it.
Hey, you made the scene up. You
gosh.
gotta do a Russian accent. Think of the machine.
Literally, my brain is not functioning right now.
Sir, are you there? Did you have a stroke? Your eyes.
Do you serve vodka here?
Yes, we do. Would you like a shot? I don't know what I'm doing.
Could I just have a vodka cranberry, please?
Yes, I'll be right back with that.
Oh,
Here you go, sir.
Thank you. So, are there any specials or anything really good? I'm new to town. I don't know what. I don't think this is Russian. I don't know what.
Yes, our specials today are spaghetti and meatballs and potato soup. Wait, are we Italian?
I've never had much Italian food before. I'm used to eating potatoes and rice and lamb.
Well, it's very good, sir.
Oh, what is it?
Italian food?
Si.
Pasta. Like
like spaghetti and meatball.
Yes, that's what I just said. That's cool. Our special today.
Oh, nice. Is there anything else? Because I don't want that.
We have homemade bread, sir, and.
Well, that's not a pasta.
We have Alfredo and what else do they have? Pesto and marinara. I don't know.
So what is this Alfredo?
It's like a white sauce with noodle.
White sauce, huh?
Like a white creamy sauce.
What?
It's pretty good.
What is in this sauce?
I don't know. I can go ask the chef.
Please do.
La-di-da-di-da. I come back, and chef does not know.
Okay.
But it is good, I promise.
Okay, sure. I'll take 3 Alfredos.
3
and 4 loaves of bread.
loaves?
Yes.
We don't sell them by the loaves, sir. We sell them by slices.
You have baguettes?
In our bakery?
My cousins are coming. And
Oh.
we need the bottle of vodka for the table.
Okay, I'll be right back with that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm all done.
Was it good, sir?
Glug,
Did
glug,
you like
glug.
your meal?
Yes, it was very good Italian food. I don't know. What's the bill?
$200.
200 pesos?
$200 US, sir.
200 rupees?
No.
I forget what my currency is.
No.
The fuck is Russian currency? Rubles! Yeah. 200 rubles?
$200 US, sir.
Oh, I got $20.
I'll cover you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Nice hospitality.
Come back again.
Okay, bye.
Don't forget your loaves of bread.
Thanks for Bianca.
We could never do improv classes.
Okay, let's try again. But maybe I'll lead because
Technically, you led the last time.
not really. I just forced you what to do. I made the scenario. Okay, New York City. I don't know, somewhere in New York City. We're trying to track down the world's best pizza. At 4 a.m. Go.
You said you were gonna lead.
Oh, okay. Yo, where the hell's... Oh, fuck, I don't know how to do what?
An English accent?
A New York accent.
Do like a Boston accent.
Yo, Tony.
I knew you were gonna say Tony. I knew it.
Yo, Tony.
Tony. Italian Boston man.
Where's this pizzeria you talk about?
I think you guys are a little version.
Yo, Tony, where's this pizzeria at?
On 5th and Boulevard.
Are you British? Okay.
When I get nervous, I talk into a British accent. Oh.
Okay, I don't know where to go from here.
I gave you the address. I gave you the street.
Let's walk.
Why don't we take the subway?
Cool. Oh, Tony, I forgot my bus pass.
Your bus pass. We're going on the subway.
I forgot my Metro card.
We can hop at the gate.
Okay. We suck. Holy shit, is that Yogi Bear? Oh, Boo Boo. Wait, what's the... Yeah, right? That's the little bird's name, Boo Boo. But I don't remember how...
Why did you just say it like that? I'm like...
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo.
Yogi and Boo Boo. What's his... I don't remember how his talk is.
I don't know.
I don't know. Bailey, can you do any accents? Go for it.
No. I cannot.
Damn.
Yeah,
Can you do impressions? Bring something to the table. Come on.
I don't bring anything to the... I have no idea.
Put the cookie down.
Okay, Arnold.
Lift heavy weights. Big muscles. Get to the chopper. the chopper part was really bad. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
You never even watched Terminator.
Yes, I have.
No. I don't know any other impressions. Can you do Michael Jackson? That's pretty good. What about Mickey? I can just do, oh boy.
That kind of does sound like Mickey.
Oh boy.
Do Goofy. Or what does he do? His little like.
I don't know. It's like he's literally chugging water as he's like laughing. It's like a very deep like like. Oh gosh. Am I wrong?
No, I just like I can hear it in my head, but I don't know how to do it.
Me too.
Do an Irish accent.
Oh, I can't do many. I feel like I used to be better. I think I'm also camera shy. But like I can't do an English accent very well.
Oh no.
I should get
Calvin on here to do it.
But he doesn't have one.
I wonder, does his parent, mom?
Yeah, his mom would.
So I'm sure he could.
He could probably pull one off. I would love to get him on here and be like, all right, we're going back to your roots. Teach me how to do an accent. Go. I used to do it all the time because I was just a little jackass, but I can't anymore.
Yeah, I used to do it a lot too. Or like, who was it? It was Isla and I. This past year, randomly, we would like started talking in British accents whenever we went anywhere, and then we would get stuck in it, like normal conversation. We would be stuck in it, and Isla goes, "Oh my god, I gotta stop!" And then we'd stop, and then it get back into conversation. I don't know. Isla, like that was like we had a.
Oh, Isla.
At one, I don't know how this happened. At one point, we had like a daughter, or there was like children. I don't know. And it was like,
did you take the kids to school today?
That's like something we would do. Or like, it was like,
oh, what's
that dance and what's that horseback riding? And then
my good chum George.
But they had names, croquet. And I can't think of their names.
Bill.
They were girls.
No. Can you do the Southern accent? I used to be able to do a really good Southern accent, but it's been forever. I love Bert Kreischer's.
Down yonder, I don't know.
Yeah, down by the river.
That's like not exactly how they.
It depends on where you are, but that is a certain
down
area.
by a river. I don't know. I was thinking of a song.
I love how Bert, when he does
his
Leanne,
wife,
it's hilarious. But
oh, you could do impression of Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. My mama said.
Wrong movie.
Was that not him? My mama always said.
Foosball is the devil.
Yeah.
Wrong movie.
Foosball is the devil.
All right, so should we finish the podcast by singing?
What?
Save Me by Jelly Roll.
What part? Are you going to play it on your phone?
No, my phone's right there. That's my phone.
Am I playing it on my
phone? No,
phone?
You just got to sing it.
I don't remember how it starts.
What do you mean?
Like the first verse.
Somebody Save Me.
Is that really how it opens?
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody
say. Whoa. Yeah.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me.
All right, pull it up. We'll sing it together. Somebody save me.
Me from
myself. It's been so long. Fuck. I don't. Whoa. Don't go super high.
Hold on.
Volume. That's not the right. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It does start like that. Do you need that?
I don't think so. Somebody save me. Me from myself. I've spent so long living in hell. They say my lifestyle is bad for my health. It's the only thing that seems to help. All of this drinking and smoking is hopeless, but feels like it's all that I need. Something inside of me holding. Oh. anything that sets me free.
I'm a lost cause.
Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams.
I'm a lost cause.
Okay, that's good.
Baby, don't waste your time on me. Okay. Ow. You hit my finger. I think that was
pretty good.
Charlie, you bit my finger.
Charlie bit my finger. No?
I don't think no.
I saw something the other day where it's like old memes and it was just like random shit. And I was just like,
I'm in me mom's car. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
Get out me car. That was like Isla and I one day mentioned that.
Mom, there's a monkey on the car. Fuck off. I remember that back in the day.
Oh,
but then I love how we finally figured out the quote from the machine. Did I do that?
Yeah.
I think that might be one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, I do too. The one at the end?
Yes, yeah. Because it was...
Actually, one of my favorites is the
train.
The train.
Yes. Yeah. I want to watch it again
that
now.
shit
I actually do
actually
want to watch
cracked
it again.
my ass up. Like...
Yours? Yeah.
What? That was funny. I don't think you laughed for that. I was laughing in the theaters at that scene. That was pretty funny. I mean, it's warm.
I mean, I was laughing, but I typically don't laugh out loud. I just sit there and go, hey.
Well,
I don't know. I laugh more at their comedy things.
Their comedy specials? Or like
more podcasts, probably.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you get their real laughs and everything. Oh, and
Bird's real laugh makes me laugh.
Like Freddy's real laugh.
Oh yeah, Freddy's cracks me up.
I love because he wheezes like he's dying when he laughs.
I'm a wheezer too, but mine's different than his.
But his is like it's like he has phlegm. But like you got him, but then like Bert's real laugh where he's just like can't breathe. Tom's laugh is pretty funny. Like it's just.
I don't think I guess I have.
But it's like not super unique.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty normal laugh, but no, it's just ridiculous. But all right, well, I think on that note, I think we'll probably call it. I always do this last minute. Maybe I should like do this more often. We might actually get subscribers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, please. Bailey's dependent on this channel. You can tell. No, so look forward to hopefully the next couple of videos being pretty interesting. Either having Bailey on again and again and again, or Noah or Riley or something. I plan on while Noah's in town. He's not going to be in town for a long time, but I want to try recording like 3-4 episodes with him. So they might actually be spread out just a little bit. Keep an eye out for shorts. Keep an eye out for reels, all that fun stuff. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys all in the next episode. And it might be someone else other than Bailey. So we'll see what happens. But peace out, everybody.
Peace
and we'll
out.
see you later.
You did it early. I was going to do it with you.
Okay. Peace out.